coffee walk this morning. So if you come on, uh, say howdy to me if you can. Hmm, hot, hot coffee. So I don't see nobody on just yet. I have bifocals, so that's why I gotta do that. In the sky, you know, there's two zeros right at the moment, and so, you know, it blends in with the sky. So that's why. So, hmm. But if you come on, say howdy. I gotta shut my door, take you with me. But we're on a coffee walk. Yeah. Don't I look up for it? Yeah. Try to sit you some way. Maybe this way. Oh, I got one on. And I think I hear somebody. Maybe I don't. Oh, I can't drink my coffee like that. Put you like that. There we go. So, hi, baby. I love you. Hey, Bradley. I love you too. Coffee, yeah. Got to have my coffee in my cup. Yeah, Miss Kim, she's at home. She was watching a chick flick, you know. Does he love me? What can I do to get the guy to love me? Sorry, honey. I ain't making fun of you. But I just sometimes don't get into that too often. Unless it's in the evening and I don't care. And I'm on the computer anyway. Then sometimes I do follow. But once in a while, they come in. I got some coffee splashed up on my glasses and my nose. That's what happens when you have a big honker. So, tonight I checked the weather today. Supposedly, it's not supposed to rain. I got a message. Okay. Automatically held. Oh, okay. Thank you, Bradley. I don't know who else is on. A serial killer. I don't know what you're talking about. I never said nothing about a serial killer. Killer? Botox, I think. I'll just call you. Is that right? Botox? Is that right? uh, I can't pronounce some of your. May I ask what happened to my voice? Yeah, you can. Well, I was born like this. It used to be like way up higher. And uh, back when I was 27, I started having some chest pains. So I went to a primary doctor and he didn't know what was going on. So he sent me to Salem, North Carolina. There's a Baptist hospital there. If anybody's from knows that area, you know what I'm talking about. So I went over there. This was in 2001, the beginning. And so I went there for 2 weeks. Well, found out was what was wrong here. Uh, I was having severe acid reflux, which was causing it was causing the oxygen not to get to my lungs and go to my heart and stuff like that. But then they're like, can we, can we see why you talk like this? And I'm like, yeah, why sure, if you can fix me, yeah, go fix me so I can talk like John Wayne. Is that you, John Wayne? So, after a week's worth of studies, one of the things that they did, they stuck these long needles in my head. I mean, like all over. Then they hooked me up to some machine and told me to say different things, this and that. Then after a week worth of study, the nurse out of 7 doctors, the nurse form, because they all calibrated together on me, they found out that I should be mute. There's no way I should be speaking because on this earth that has that can talk, they have a nerve in their head. But this nerve connects somehow to your vocal cords, and it's kind of like the volume switch to your to your vocal cords. Without that, there's no sound out of your mouth. You can, but nothing comes out without that nerve. So, so uh, I told him, I said, so you're telling me I've got a God-powered voice? And I said, uh, they said, yeah, I guess you could say that because there's no medical explanation to explain this. And I said, well, why do I talk so high? And they said, well, we don't know because your vocal cords are excuse me, as normal as everybody else's. So that gives you a bigger in-depth of why I talk like I do compared to the video that I put out. But there you go. That's the explanation, the big explanation to my voice. But so there you go. But I don't care. People have picked on me since I went to school. The first time I went to school, people picked on me. I had to fight my way through school. Then when I got older, I had to, you know, you kind of brush things off and laugh about it after a while, because you figure after a while, when you're face to face with somebody like that and they pick on you, well, if you learn to just laugh with them, most of the time they're just gonna quit it. So, because all they're trying to do is try to rub you the wrong way. Well, thank you, Carb. I love your voice. It's very, very nice, man. Man, manly. It was really deep. Well, I wished. But this is as deep as I'll go. And this is as low as I'll go. This is pretty bad, but here, honey, I'll post that. I'll pin that so you don't have to. There you go. I pinned it. That's my wife, Kimberly Ford, right there. If anybody needs to know. But if you come on, howdy, look at this clean shave. But I got little whiskers going on, so I think I gotta take care of that. Are you a good singer? Well, it all depends. I'll sing for you tonight. If you subscribe to the channel, I do cooking videos on the weekend, on on the evenings. So I'm in Tennessee. We're uh, Central Standard Time. So I don't know where you're at. So if you like, subscribe, share, you'll catch my cooking videos. Yeah, I'm a hoot. So I'm waiting on more people to get in. Probably not, then we're gonna take a coffee walk. But I can't very well carry this and carry the phone because I'm one of them shaky kind of guys. You know, that's what happens when you get old. Yeah, if if the weather cooperates tonight, we'll have us a barbecue. Okay? Uh, Mad, Mad Dad, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been waiting on a good barbecue. Hold on, I'm gonna put this in the car. I think I'm awake enough. I kind of woke up with a headache. Yeah. So I don't really like taking any medicine because John Edwards. No, I didn't find. John Edwards is my. He's my. Hold on a minute. John Edwards is my. I'm not killing you. I gotta think a minute while I'm thinking. Well, but I do got a great. I think he's my third great grandpa, John Edwards. But he's buried in a cemetery in Roane County. If anybody is from Roane County, here's what I need from you. I'm looking for Edwards Cemetery. It's not on, it's not on the final grave, but I'm looking for it. I can't find it on, uh, on Google Maps either. So, well, thank you, Mark. I'm gonna turn this thing around and show you where we're at. Yeah, yeah, man. We're in a cemetery. I got some good stuff coming up for you too. If I told him to call me, so I'm gonna have to get with him and if I can do this one thing, during I don't Henley, something like that. When he calls me, this here is Woody Cemetery. This is this is Tennessee, Cumberland County. Here's a monk in Goatston, Goatston. I can't pronounce it. Brother, Mark, you need to mind your manners. Somebody time him out. If you don't behave, I will kick you out myself. Don't be talking like that. Everybody got 27 people watching this morning. Hello, people. My fine, well, I could call you feathered, but you're not feathered. That's for chickens, you know. That's what the farmer says to the chickens. Hello, my fine feathered friends, but you're my fine human friends. Sorry I'm shaking. I'm trying, you know, Miss Kim gave me one of them things for my phone. I need to find that, Miss Kim. I think it's in the car. I just now thought of that. Shame on me, ain't it? Now he's got a picture, and I'm cold. So that's the other reason. It got down to like 57. Mark, you sure, you sure must not be mature, are you? You're not, or you're not so you're insecure with yourself. That's what I think. Are you insecure? Brother, give it to Jesus. We got his name's Mark Thanks. I'm gonna let everybody know who you are, Mark Thanks, so they can beware of you on YouTube. He wants to be mean to people. So beware of him. When you see him on your live chats, okay? Just giving everybody out there, this here's a more out there that does live chats, okay? So write that down, take a little note, like that. I'm starting to sing. There I go, singing in a cemetery. George Strait song. So baby, write this down, take a little note, remind you, in case you ever want to know. I think that's how the words go. I can't remember. Okay, there's somebody still living there, so we'll skip that. This here's a Russell. You probably remember that. Yeah, I know, I'm shaky, Jasmine. I'm sorry. I'm kind of cold. It's not really hot right at the moment. That's why I like coffee in the morning. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, there's sons right here. If you're good with ancestry and stuff, and if you, this would be a good, I might tell a story about him. But you know what? When does anybody on here, because I ain't too good with the Vietnam War, when did the Vietnam War start? Can anybody tell me? Was it 62 or 63? I'm good with Civil War. Ask me anybody thing about that. Sorry I'm shaking. I'm trying to figure out a way not to shake. I think that's better. That's what John, thank you. What month? Was it like, would it be July? You think he might have lost his life? John, you think he lost his life in the Nam? It kind of looks that way, don't it? What's the COMM? I know SQ's squad, Air Force, but the 2116, I guess that's the unit, right? Yeah, that's interesting. Here's a Thomas. Anybody Thomas? Now we got some good history uh, right over yonder. Now I can tell you a story about one woman in here. I don't know. Something possessed me. I'll walk over there and show you. But I've been coming to the cemetery a long time. Even when I was, so good place to get stoned. Ain't nobody around. So, but I wondered about her forever because there's nobody, there's nobody around her. So, uh, here's a Buddy Woody. So I got on Ancestry and I looked her up. Her husband got remarried He's buried, I think, in another county. I think Roane County, I think, with his second wife. But he left her and their, well, child. I think she passed away at childbirth. It kind of looks that way. But check that out. Now, if you're from Cumberland County and you're a Woody, pay attention just a minute. Look at the way it used to be straight. Now it's leaning to the left. Now this is an old woodman of the world. I was born this way. Just hold on till this ends. Rewatch this because I gave you the full documentation of my voice. I explained it almost to the T. Well, a whole lot more than I did in the video. And of course, you see my car. I parked it on a hill. I'm hoping the transmission to kick in and I'll get it as it goes down the hill. You're welcome. That's what I do on my channel. I do genealogy. But this is what I do. Like, take for example, this tombstone right here. Say you came to this tombstone and you could barely make it out. So I come along and I video that, and then a couple more years down the road, somebody else comes along and you can't read that. Well, it's on video. And then the other reason, say there's a tornado that comes through this area, and tornadoes aren't no respecter of nothing. So if they come through a cemetery, how on earth are you gonna know who's buried where? Unless they got a plaque like that. So, that's why I do what I do. But in the process of starting this channel, I've had one person, well, couple people, tell me that one person found their, like, second, I think, or third great grandpa pew. I think they're watching. Now, this is Queenie. This is her. Now, her parents are here. Her parents are right over here. I looked them up too. But I forgot her dad's name. Ain't that cool? Here's her mama. I think that's them. Let me go back and look. No, that ain't them. I was wrong. Yep. You all probably thinking, look at the date. Yeah. Her daddy, oh, they're here. Because I know I looked them up. Oh, man. Because there's a bunch of severe. That's her dad and mom. That's severe right there. And Mary. Now, Miss Kim, she's related to somebody in here that married into the Woodies. There's Queenie's mom. That's a brother and sister. Now I remember. Sorry. Hey, Billy. How you doing, brother? You doing okay? Drinking your coffee? Yeah, I clean shaved, y'all. How about that? for a little while, till I get sick of looking at myself. And that ain't gonna take long, ain't it? Don't it, Miss Kim? I get bored with the way I look. If it's clean shaved, I'm like, yeah, I look like I'm 20 something. But then people start treating you like that. Margaret is Miss Kim's relation, some way. So then I gotta grow it back because uh, once they see the gray hair and the whiskers, they're like, oh yeah, he's an old man. That's right. I'm 52. I'm old. Next time you see him, Bradley, take him out of the room. Now here's another one. She's all by herself. Ain't nobody in the cemetery that is related to her unless they're buried next to her. But I don't know who they are. But this is she might be related to Burt Reynolds. I like, I like that, you know. I really do. Shaking hands with the man upstairs. Good job. Here's my hand. Here's my hand. Son or daughter? Now I'm shaking again. I'd better off standing up, Bradley. Now, I'll forever remember this date over here. Me and Miss Kim will, which we were married on this date. But this anniversary we'll forever remember. Because that's when Sister Cindy Wolf in Herman, Missouri, and her mom, Anila Wolf, got killed in a car accident. It was bad. Hit a bluff head on. Sister Cindy had problems with her foot for some reason. They were just coming from a, oh, they were just coming from the funeral home. Somebody had passed away, and they had went to the viewing for the family and stuff. Got in the car 2 blocks down the road. They met the Lord. Nope, there's no Ford graves in this one. I wish there was, 'cause I'm a Ford. Yep, that's my last name. Is that your last name? That would be interesting. Huh? Well, where do you live at? Do you live in Tennessee? I do a lot of genealogy about the Fords. Well, thank you, brother. It matches me. Nichols Ford is my name. Huh? Well, subscribe to the channel this weekend. Miss Kim remind me to be able to sit down long enough to get on Google and get on, I'm passing up some good stuff. Get on, make another Gmail account. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to make a Sidesteppin. I think it's going to be sidesteppin at gmail.com. So don't write nothing down just yet, but that's going to be the email that I make for the channel, which I should have done Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Larry. I'll be praying for your aunt. How old is she? Um, the one explaining my voice, that would be in the playlist. In the playlist. That's where you'll find that at. But the live stream that I'm on right now, when you wait, redo it, when you uh, watch it over, I give you a full in-depth of my voice. So if you'll just stick with me, you know. But if you want to go check that out, you can, you know. And please like it, you know. Anything you watch, please like, you know. That helps me and Miss Kim out. And watch, if you're going to watch something, please watch it all the way. If you can't, what I do, I watch mine, but time I edit the things, the ones I've been doing here lately, which I watch it anyway, you know. I like to watch my own stuff, plus it helps my watch time. But uh, in Miss Kim, I like to see the tombstones, so that's why I watch it too. But uh, but yeah, just not all the time I have to come back to it, is what I'm trying to say. Somebody, if you're a Helton, this is David, but his wife, she can't be still a living. They forgot her death date. She is, she's still, hope she's healthy. Yeah, we'll be praying for your aunt. Yeah, I do genealogy. Like say if you're hunting, say for instance, you're a Tays, okay? And you're hunting your third great grandpa and grandma, okay? Well, you don't know, you know the cemetery name, but you don't know where it's located at. You go on YouTube, the people that are doing these graves, you know, showing the cemeteries, and you get on my YouTube channel, and you find your third great grandpa, John H. Days. That's what I do. So, not all the time on live stream. I'm just giving you an example of what I do. So, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, I know. But yeah, Daisy, be nice. Be nice, Daisy. You're not the Daisy that we're. Nope, it's not Daisy. Jason! Hello, Jay! I had to go back and see what's up. Sorry. Daisy, I'm gonna warn you. Next time Daisy's not nice, get her out. Can have no disrespect in the room. This is a Christian, we are Christian people, by the way. I do uh, cooking live streams in the evenings, not through the week. Monday through, uh, Monday through Thursday, no way, 'cause I'm wiped out from working. So I know inquiring, inquiring minds want to know what the doctor said. Well, they got to go in. I don't know, but I have to have surgery on my rear end. And it's not laser. I can't, for some reason, they can't do the laser surgery. So that sucks. Under the knife, but at least I'm getting fixed. You know, I don't care at this point. As long as I get fixed. And get this. His name, he's a John, he's like, I don't know, Chinese, I guess. His name's Dr. Lee. He's a young guy. I think he's like, I don't know. I would say I would hope he's like 32 or 33. He looks young. I hope he's got plenty experience in what he does. You know. But he might be related to Bruce Lee. I know this is nasty, and I know people are waiting on me to say it, but he's gonna he's gonna kung fu out my problems down south. Yep, kung fu them boys out of there. Well, not out of there. I don't want to gross nobody out, so I won't. I'll spare you with the details. It was kind of sick for me to hear him say what he was gonna do, but you know. What's wrong with my voice? I was born with a high pitched voice. 7 doctors. I'll, I'll make a long story short because in the beginning of the video of this live stream, I did the whole shebang of my voice. But long story short, 7 doctors in 2001 told me that I should be mute. There's no way I should be speaking. So I'm a miracle from the Lord, because what the nurse, they had to go do their thing. So they told the nurse, you know, their nurse, she's all for these 7 doctors. She told me what they found out. And I said, so you're telling me, what they're telling me is I've got a God-fired voice. And she said, yep, I guess you could say that. I didn't ask them that, but I guess, you know, they probably would say that. So I'm a miracle. God wants me to talk to you all, to you fine people, little baby, precious. 1963. Well, and that's not really took much damage from a lawnmower. That's, that's incredible. Most most ones I see like that, they're pretty damaged because there's always a rock in the cemetery. I'm trying to find somebody up this way, I think. I'm trying to find a Daniel's tombstone. A Daniel's. We went to school with old Charlie right here, Miss Kim. I don't know how he passed away. He was a big guy. He always played in football. I'll show you a picture of him when I get home in the annual or yearbook. And we went to school with old Frankie Sharp right here. He got his license and got out one night and had a wreck and killed himself. But I think we all have some of those people that we went to school with that have passed on, which I got quite a few. See, the other reason why I do the Ford, well, see, I'm related, is my Ford, maybe my Ford cousin from over in England. Are you still with us, my friend? Are you still with us? Because I have to ask you a question. Nope, my voice is not fake. Dale, you don't know, can't judge a book by the cover. And by the way, somebody sounds. So, if you're like that, you're a shallow person. That's what I think. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. My dad, he was one of those. He's short in it. He was a little bit bigger than I am. He'd put you in your place in a heartbeat. He wasn't afraid to. He wouldn't back down. He didn't care if they were like Andre the Giant. He would still climb them. He'd look like a flea on a tick, but he'd whoop their butt, or he'd get whooped trying. I don't know why he was always like that. That's why me and him didn't get along. He was always the rough, you know, rough type person. And as you guys have noticed, I'm not all about that. I'd rather treat you with respect and love. But Dad was gonna, like, to earn respect, you got to give it. And he made sure you had to give it a lot. And if he didn't like you, he would climb your butt. I feel like I'm walking around in circles. But that's okay. We'll cover a little more. I hope them clouds go away. 'Cause if they do, y'all, we're gonna have us a shindig barbecue tonight. Uh, Let me set a time right now. Because some people have things to do, and I don't know what time. I didn't, I can't remember what time it gets dark. But I'm thinking around 5:30 or between 5 and 6. But in the community channel, community post, I will put a time for definite. Sure, I'm gonna have some barbecue tonight. I wanted barbecue the other night. You know, barbecue ain't barbecue if it ain't cooked outside on the grill. Here's a young. I want something grilled. I can't pronounce your A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah, I can. That's easy. The alphabet. That's cool. I like that. I done genealogy on the Ford name. Here it is. Goes back before record. Okay, my record goes, I went far back as William, William and Martha. They came over on the boat, the Fortune. And later tonight, when we do the cooking, I'll, I'll try to give you some information, okay? If I try to do a live stream on the phone, if I can, I'll have to make sure it's charged up enough to do. And then, but I've been getting these stupid things that say you need to press one or in the live stream or it's a copyright strike against your channel. Has anybody else gotten that? If you if you do live streams and if you're watching, because I got 23 people on, do you get the same stuff? Has anybody ever got that? Oh wow, that's cool. Before the Norman conquest. That is so cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to. You're related to Anne Frank, Uncle Larry? That is so cool. You need to write a book, brother. The surname Ford derives from someone that looked looks after a river crossing. Yep. And then they used to, back in the day, it used to be D Ford. D E capital D E capital Forde. That's how they used to spell it. Yeah, clean headstones. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get some cleaner this weekend, Miss Kim. Since we got the money, it ain't gonna cost much. But I've been waiting to get some D2. I need to get some. Clean our family. Oh wow, Uncle Larry and Jesse James. Wow, that's so cool. Well, as far as I know, and I have looked, I ain't related to the guy that killed Jesse James. He's from another branch. Well, some other branch where all the Fords were probably related, but uh, to find out which branch he come from William and Martha, that's another kind of another family tree. Huh, I didn't know that, Billy. I'll have to check that out. That'd be cool. I get a job cleaning headstones, especially like this one. You can really see it from the phone, but if you got closer, it says Daniel, I think. Nancy, Nancy Ann. It's a baby. I guess daughter of Daniel and Emma. I think that's 1908. And this is cool. This is a little bit of history for anybody that's a North. This is for you. If you're a North, you need to get this stuff. A holy right there. I love history. That's why I do genealogy, because you never know what you're gonna pull of out of your own tree. And they're buried. Well, they're buried right here. William. We'll do this one. Agnes probably Agnes, I would guess Elizabeth, daughter of C.M. and Elizabeth Goss. And they're right here to my right. But here's some more norths. Move that leaf. And here's a Frank. He calls. Which of course that I would, if I was family, I would come over here because see, her grave sunk. It sunk about 6 inches. So the casket, it's probably disintegrated by now. But well, probably not. She was born and she passed in 93. So 2003, well, something collapsed. Let's put it that way. So what I would do with this, dig this up out of the ground, put some cement in a hole, level it out, put this back in it, put some dirt around it to cover it up to the top, to about right here, with this one too. Put some dirt back on her grave too, and this one. This is Thomas, and I'm standing on you, Thomas. Yeah, Henry Ford, I don't know. I don't know if I'm related to him, but there's a brother, there's a cemetery. It's covered with Fords. It's 30 minutes away. But I have to go. I think I did these, yeah. Goss. That's who the, for her, let me show you. Agnes Elizabeth, here's her mama and daddy. But they're pretty old Fords, 1800s. But once we get a good car, I want to travel up to like, well, wherever, up towards Washington is where I need to go. Because there's some cemeteries that have our relatives in them. And I would love to do a cemetery walk up there with you guys. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Makes you wonder a lot about people's lives. It's sad to see how early we are forgotten, though. Yep, but hopefully through video and me doing this, some of them will be not be forgotten. We'll see. We'll see what happens after I pass. If somebody picks up the mantle from me, starts a YouTube channel called Crazy Sidestep Adventures, a documentation of cemeteries. Now that's for somebody, you young people that I know are watching. When I pass and go on to heaven, you pick up the mantle, there you go. I just gave you I just gave you a name. But be crazy. Don't be literally crazy. But don't be like me. Try to be normal. I'm normal, but this is me. This isn't as normal as I can get. I don't really think I know too much about normal. Who is he? Which I've never really had a normal life. So, I was a bootlegger at 17. If that tells you anything. But thank goodness God saved my soul, got me out of that. I used to sell wacky weed 2. I was born this way, Manor. I hope that's the way if that's the way it's pronounced. I'm sorry if it ain't. AKA Carolina. Caroline, Carolina, in the bed. On the 4th week. I can't remember that song. It's a 80s song. It's let me think. I'll think of them. Uh, Michael Martin Murphey. Yeah, the country singer. Michael Martin Murphey. He was a good one, wasn't he? Yeah. Carolina. I used to sing that to my horse as I fed, fed him apples. He'd just look at me with his ears up. He liked me to sing to him. But the other one, she wouldn't let you sing to her. She was pretty spirited. She took one of my uncles through the woods after he got on her. And my dad told him, now listen, she's spirited. Ah, I can handle this horse. He was almost drunk. He got on that horse. That horse just took out like a strike of lightning. Through the woods, there they go. And Dad was like, where did they go? I'm like, I don't know where she took him. She was in control, not him. All you could hear is, whoa, whoa, horse, whoa. And so we were running. We found him. It just had rained, and she stopped at the edge of this big old ditch that had water flowing down it, probably 3.5 foot deep, and she threw him off. I guess when she threw him off, she ducked, and he went forward, and she stopped, and he ended up in that ditch. So he was coming up the driveway, trying to get the horse. Dad was like, I told you, that horse is dangerous. But he passed away too. He passed away of the same thing that Daddy passed away of. Lewy body dementia. That stuff's pretty bad. Pretty bad. If you know what I'm talking about. Some bad, bad stuff. Hi, hey. How you doing? Oh, I got some other people to show you. Real quick. Thank you for joining me and walking this morning with me in the cemetery. I appreciate that very, very much. An hour south of Chattanooga and 20 minutes east of Alabama. Oh, wow. You're not too far from us. We're Chattanooga. It's not too far down the road. It's a couple hours. If I drive, I gotta show Snoopy. I don't know if I showed Snoopy or did I? We love Snoopy. I love Snoopy. Miss Kim, she's got something to show you tonight. I'm not gonna spoil the surprise or nothing, but she bought some stuff that you women are just gonna flip out about. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Matthew 18 and 20. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Well, I kind of been watching some other people with their cemetery videos, and we've been getting a lot of water. And, well, I ain't so sure if I don't want to, I don't want to build a little mala, hillbilly mala, mausoleum for me and Miss Kim. You know, I don't really want to, all that water to get into my casket. You know, I want to be dry. If I'm going to, if I'm going to go back to dust, well, I don't want no water interfering in that. Which you can be cremated, but my uncle, one of my uncle that married one of my aunts, he cremated people. And if you had seen what Dad had told me, what the body does when it's in there, you probably wouldn't want to be cremated. Flops around like frog legs in a skillet. The body flops around. You're like in a big skillet. It's horrible, horrible image, ain't it? Yeah. If you've ever cooked frog legs. So I'm gonna be buried. Imogene, I worked with Imogene. That's why I come back. Me and her, we cackled, laughed. She told my stepmom we all worked at the same place. She'd be like, now, Chris, you better do something with that boy. But as you can see, oh wow, I'd never have seen this before. And I documented masters. Huh. Well, I don't know. The sky's supposed to be clear. And it's supposed to be clear till Monday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we're supposed to get rain all them days. But it's pretty, ain't it? How about me, Dark Wolf? Don't you think you're telling Miss Kim she's very beautiful? How about me? Ain't I beautiful? 'Cause that's my wife. And thank you for giving my wife a compliment. Good morning, Norma. Got to turn her. How are you this morning? Have you had... Hi, Belle. Sorry. The phone's going so fast. I feel like I'm in one of them Three Stooges movies where Mo is going to Curly. I'm going. That's why I feel like trying to keep up with you guys. Woo! Michael, we want to go with Mike. Nope. Brian, I'm a straight man. I'm a Bible based man. We don't believe in all that crap. But I'm doing videos, not for Pride Month. Thank you, Bradley. Because God, when He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, guess why He destroyed it? He destroyed it because men were having sex with men and women were having sex with women. Gay. So that's why He destroyed it. Because He didn't create us for that. He created us to, well, I guess you could call it produce or manufacture kids. But you probably ain't never heard it called manufacturing. But hey, I'm me, so that's a new one for us all. But produce kids. So, no. God's against that. If He's against something, you ought to be too. If you're a Christian. Can't be a Christian if you don't go with what God sees as abomination. You're as fake as can be if you don't go with God, what God things that God wants. Sorry, I just have a personality. I just telling you how it really is. I'm gonna tell you the truth, no lies. And I'm walking in circles, ain't I? But there is a question before my phone goes dead almost. There's your Donald Duck. I saw that. Now my question is, Andy and Hola, I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, there's a girl buried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows over. Let's go look at her. And look at what's on the tombstone. So I don't know why. I've never seen this on a tombstone before. So I'm not quite sure what to make out about her story. Right here, and she's got a picture. But read that. If our love could have saved her, she never would have died. Now, I don't know what to make out about that saying. You think she had a car wreck? Or do you think maybe OD'd? Or maybe a suicide? I don't know. Yeah, she's pretty. She's very pretty. But look, there's a right here. Now she's got to be buried right here, 'cause you can see it. But right here, there's somebody buried right here. Unless they offset her tombstone too much to the left. But I still believe there's somebody buried next to her. So, yeah. Maybe they were just saying they loved her a lot, but could have a backstory. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mountain. And good to see you. Now I'm going to go get me some coffee and talk to you guys for just a couple minutes. give you some updates before I end it, 'cause I need some coffee. And I've done ran around the cemetery, I think. So, but how do you guys, how's your morning? Yeah, we're good Christian people. We don't believe in all that pride stuff. You know, I just tell it like it is. If you don't want to be told that, there's scripture for everything I got to say about anything that's not godly. God wants us to live a life of godliness. So, and it's hard to do. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's very hard to do, live a godly life in this time and age. But he don't plan on you being perfect. He just wants you to try, you know. That's why he died on the cross, because our unperfectness, his perfectness, will cover what we can't, you know. But I used to be alcoholic. I used to be, let me find it. I think I got, yeah. About 30 years ago, well, let's call it almost 11 years ago, if I'd started this channel, I'd got up in the morning, turn you guys on. I'd probably had a beard or something like that and got my coffee going like that. Drink me a cup of coffee just like this and go, good morning. Good morning, you guys. This is some good stuff, man. You want to take a hit? But no, it's not. It's candy. So don't worry. But God brought me a long, long way from before I met Miss Kim. But yeah, this is candy. I have I have fun at work. Trust me. I wonder how that would work if I went to church with one of them in, sit there for a little bit and just make sure nobody's looking at me and just stick one in and was somebody's singing a song, see if anybody, hey, you can't be doing that in here. Probably not appropriate. God would probably strike me with some lightning if I did that. So, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, don't tempt thy Lord thy God. So I better not be doing that. Yeah, my throat is fine. After I end this live stream, go back and rewatch it. It explains the whole thing about my voice. But I'm gonna have to end it because my phone is now at 20%. So like, subscribe, because you won't want to miss tonight's shenanigans. So, I'll let you know what time on the community post, okay? I love y'all. Thank you for watching Sidesteppin Adventures, a Mid-Tennessee adventure where I dig up your kinfolk's past. And you never know where we're gonna go or what you're gonna get. I love y'all. Bye-bye. Please share because Facebook does not like me, okay? I love y'all. Bye-bye. Praise the Lord. Have a good day. Be blessed. And if you go somewhere, be careful. Bye-bye.